What's up, guys? As promised, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Brad Knight, the owner of Onslow Bay, and we are going to start here in the very, very back where boats start from the very beginning. So if I remember correctly, you have a 27, 33, 37, and a 41.
That's right.
Okay, cool. So if you would kind of go over kind of how boats start. A lot of people don't know that you kind of start from the outside in, and just tell us about it.
So basically everything starts back here in the back. We get some stuff in like for our larger parts like the hulls, the liners, the caps. We get that in a kit, and some stuff we make back in here. For the smaller stuff we cut ourselves. And so like a hull, we'll have like this one right here is a 41. We're getting ready to infuse, so we're getting ready to infuse that one. We're starting at 37. Then we got our other two molds up ahead. So basically we build the boat from the outside in. So the first thing we do is spray the color, then we start laying in the skin coat, which is the stage this one's at, then we start laying the structure, and then we do the infusion. And once it's pulled out, it's finished on the outside and it's ready to go up to trim bay and have the tanks and the foam and have all the pre-trimming done.
For somebody who has no idea what infusion is, kind of go into depth, if you can, about what that is.
So in the past, everything was done what's called an open layup. So, and that's what they're doing right there. So those guys right there, so when you're spraying it and you're hand laying everything, that's called an open layup. And so we do, so some manufacturers, they're going to do, like on all of our parts except hulls, we do 1 day of open layup. So we do a gel and a skin, we check it for air, and then we put all our infusion materials in. On the hulls, we do 3 days of open layup. So we do 2 skins, and then we do our first bottom, and then we fill our strakes. It makes it easier to put our core in for the infusion. So we do 3 days of open layup on a hull, and then the rest of it we do infusion. And what infusion entails is we're packing, like you can see from this one right here, we're packing all the materials in dry, and then we put a series of vacuum lines and resin inlet lines. So we put those on there, and then we bag it up and put a seal on it, and it basically sucks the resin into the part, and it gives you a perfect glass to resin ratio. So it's different because it's not open like that is. It's all enclosed. You don't have to smell. You don't have to grind in between layers. It's much faster. It's much stronger, and it's much more. The ratios are much better.
So like we talked about, they have a 27, 33, 37, 41. I personally am now an owner of my second. So this is a 33, and like he said, the way they do it is this is the mold. So if you look in there, you'll be able to see all the intricate parts of it. Brad knows way more than I do, but you start with the outside moving in. So I have a white boat, so you start with white, and then you start laying all your fiberglass and core, is what you call it, core material.
So you do the gel coat,
yep.
You do the skin coat, you do some structure, and then you do the core, and then you do some more structure on the back. And then we infuse our stringers and bolt kits in there at the same time as well.
And you're a three-piece, right?
Three-piece construction, yes.
So cap, mold,
cap, liner,
mold,
and hull, or cap, liner, and hull, yes.
41 cap. So you start with the hull, and then if you turn around, you'll be able to see all the little parts: consoles, live wells, wing posts, hatches,
you name it. Interiors. That's a let's see, that's a 41 interior right there. So that was getting ready to get infused. But yeah, consoles, cleaning posts, hatches.
So the way you did the factory is start with your hull, parts, and you just keep.
So basically lamination back here, everything flows to the front. So once it's done here, it goes through that door, gets trimmed and prepped, and it goes through the next door, and it gets assembled.
So I've heard some pretty cool things about your gas tanks. Let's go see that.
Yep, sounds good. Let's go.
So this, from what I'm told, is a 33 liner. So we started with the hull, get that out of infusion, and then this goes like a sandwich?
You'll set your boxes in.
Yep.
So you'll prep the hull, put the fuel tank in, we set our boxes in, and then we bond the liner on top of the boxes and then along the top, and then we tab it, and so we tab it along here to the hull,
yep.
And then in the back. Then after that, then the cap, which that's the 33 cap, then the cap goes on top of that.
Gotcha. And this right here is that core material.
There's different cores in different places of the boat. It all depends on where it is.
Yep. Structural integrity, like all your cleats.
So now what we do, we use on our, because so many guys are doing a lot of tuna fishing, and and they're like, okay, well, I need a cleat here, a cleat there. So
Yep.
what we did is instead of using like a core like that, which is a lower density core, we do all Cusa board for the entire length of our cap.
Oh, I didn't
That
know
way,
that.
so no matter where somebody puts a cleat, it's not going to matter.
No way.
Yeah.
Is that newer?
Mm-hmm.
It is newer.
Yep.
That
Because we
is
used
cool.
we used to stop it back here.
Yep.
But then the cleats up here, I was getting kind of concerned that people put backing plates on it, but by
Yep.
putting this kind of core in here, you're never going to have to worry
You
about
never have to worry about
it.
it.
So we do that on all our models now.
That is awesome. Okay, now let's go see the tank.
Parts come out the back, out of lamination. They come in here. This is where they get trimmed. If it's a hole, it gets prepped with foam, fuel tank. So this is a 27 that just came out. So we got to sand it and finish it and do it. You make it pretty. And then after that, it'll get outfitted with fuel tanks. It'll get outfitted with all the foam that goes into it. So basically, any place that's open in our boats, we foam fill it. So if it's not a bilge or it's not a fish box, we foam fill it. And once the foam goes in, we fiberglass it over, and then we also gel coat it over because it seals all the foam up. Same thing on the fuel tanks. We've never had a fuel tank failure in one of our boats. We've never had any water intrusion. We've never had to pull one out. So we feel pretty fortunate about that. And I think it's the way that we do our install. We don't have to worry about it. And not to mention the fact that when somebody's out in our boats are unsinkable. So we don't need the foam for structure, but we put it in there anyway. So safety is a big thing with us, and that's what we'll talk about also with the qualified captain.
Yep.
And that's one of the reasons he chose our boat as well. So we did the foam to make it unsinkable, makes the boat stronger. But also, so when we were going to go to infusion, we went to a company and they would run our numbers as far as, okay, well, this is our current lamination schedule. This is where we're going. Here's some options for you. Here's how strong it'll be. So we took their highest option and we added more fiberglass to it than that.
Yep.
On the front side and the back side. And we also stepped our core up another density. So, my goal is to make a boat that's going to last you a lifetime.
Yep.
No matter what you do to it. You might have to replace the upholstery, you might have to repower it, but other than that, it's going to last you a lifetime.
Yep.
And so we put extra strips down the keel to make it stronger. We put, like I said, we put more glass. So their highest recommendation on glass on the outside was like 56 ounces, then the core, 56 ounces. We went 72 ounces. The core, 56, plus another 72 ounces on top of that with our stringer.
Wow.
So we increased our inside glass by 72 ounces. We increased our outside glass by like 16 ounces.
Yep.
And then we also increased the amount where we don't have core. We also increased the amount of keel doublers that we have, keel and chine doublers.
Wow.
So we always try to make everything as strong as we possibly make it.
Just for you guys to go over it again, I think you're the only boat manufacturer that has foam surrounding the tank, but then you fiberglass over it.
Yes.
Some people stop there, but there's always can be some sort of thin
Pinholes
holes in the fiberglass.
and then we gel coat over it to seal
and
it.
you gel coat over it. So if you guys look, it's almost like completely finished. So I'm not going to say it's impossible, Brad might say it, for water to get to your gas tanks and start to corrode, because corrosion, salt water.
Well, and one other step we take on top of that is if you see the black coating on the tank, what's still showing,
Yep.
that's called coal tar. We put an epoxy coating on the tank, so if any water should happen to get in there, it still can't eat into the aluminum.
And there are still plenty of big name manufacturers that only coal tar. They don't even.
Some of them that I've seen, they foam around it, no coal tar, no glass, no nothing. And so yeah, we like to go the extra mile.
It's amazing to see how clean the inside of that hull. I mean, it's unbelievable. Never seen anything like it. Been to a bunch of factories. Kudos to you guys, because I'm sure it's a mess. I'm sure it's time consuming.
It's very time consuming. It's very expensive. It is. But at the end of the day, it's going to make a better boat.
Yep.
That's what
and you
we
can
care
sleep
about.
better at night.
I can sleep better at night.
So if somebody does product testing with rocks,
Yeah.
or hit a tree or a log after a
That's right.
hurricane,
And it happens.
and something happens. Cool. So once boats are done here, then where do they go?
They go to the next building over, and
Okay.
that's our assembly building.
Cool. Let's go.
So basically, boats come in here. They start. We'll start outfitting the parts. So we put rod holders. We do the wiring. We get all the different parts that are going to go together. We get them prepped right here in the front, and then as the boat's moving down the line, you'll see. So like this one. So this one's getting the boxes set. It's getting ready to get all the in-floor live wells. It's getting ready to get, that's the front fish box. The interior is not in this one yet. And so you kind of see how boats are progressing just by where they are in line. So once this one gets the boxes set, it'll move down here, and then it's going to get the liner set. And you can see what I was telling you about. So we use Plexus adhesives, and we bed the liners onto all those big flanges where the boxes are, and also on the stringers. And then we tab everything front and back with fiberglass. And it's also bonded with Plexus all the way around the top. So I'm sure, I mean, you've been running in your 33, how the boat, when you hit a wave, it doesn't vibrate.
It doesn't vibrate at all.
Right, because we tie everything together.
Yep.
And so then once it gets this done, so you can kind of see this boat's actually ahead of this one. They just got out of sorts and line. But so this one has the cap put on it, and it's getting the console in, so it's all getting rigged. So when it goes from this stage to being finished and out the door, so there's yours down there. This one's about a week behind it. This one's about a week behind that. It goes pretty quick at the very end.
Yep. So once you get to parts, then it starts to really
starts popping pretty quick.
When you have your 3-piece, it allows you to do most of the wiring, I'm assuming.
We do a lot of it as much as we can when it's apart. So like this one doesn't have the cap on it yet, so we do. It's so much more accessible. So we pull all the hoses and get as much of the wiring done as we can when it's open. Now, but we still make it where you can access it. So because something's going to fail, you got to be able to access it.
Correct. Correct. Cool. So this one's just about done. And then this one, like you said, as soon as once you get into equipment, electronics, it moves quickly.
Yeah, so this one's starting to get electronics put in it. He's putting them in there now. So this one will probably be ready to go out the door next week sometime.
Guys, look over there. There's another one. It's mine. That's cool. So currently right now, it's what, 12 to 15 months from delivery?
Yeah, 12 to 13 months.
12 to 13, cool. And best way to get a hold of you guys through your website?
Website, you can call us at our shop, and you know, it's probably a little bit easier. There's a contact form on our webpage, so you can fill that out if you want to see what a boat's going to cost you, and send that in, and we'll make contact with you, set up a demo ride, or also we're going to be at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show coming up. We're also going to be doing the Palm Beach Boat Show in the spring.
Nice.
We'll be doing Raleigh Boat Show in January. So, boat shows, give us a call, shoot us a message online.
That's awesome. And one of the really cool parts, another reason why I went with Onslow Bay, is you don't have any dealers.
We don't.
Correct? So it's you, your lovely wife, and your team. So you don't have to deal with dealers and middlemen. It's a family relationship. He might not give you his personal cell phone number, but it's an email or phone call away. You don't have to deal with any of the hoopla of middlemen and gatekeepers and all that sort of stuff. You get in touch with the man, the myth, and the legend. But other than that, hope you guys liked today's factory tour. Get to see a little bit of the ins and outs of it. I can't thank you enough for your time and everything you do for us.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll see you guys in an Onslow. If you want to reach out to me, all my information will be in the description below. If you want to go through me to go through them, that's fine. If you want to bypass me, go straight to them. But other than that, we'll see you guys in next week's video.